Well, I just drove away from seeing John and his dog Caesar. He didn't want to be on video, so I just I just took a few photographs. And yeah, nice guy. He was telling me that his brother died um, last year. We talked about some old homeless people. Some he knew, Tony Porter, Jim he knew, but Pat he couldn't remember. And he was rather angry that that street sweeper got too close to his dog. I mean, I wished I was recording a video. I didn't realise he was going to come right up. I had to move out of his way, and that's a big pavement. I don't know what that guy was doing, but it frightened Caesar, and Caesar didn't want any more photographs after that. But he's going to give some of those clothes to Jimmy. Um, because Jimmy's usually in that place, but is not there at the moment. They tend to swap over. One guy will hold the fort, if you like, because if they don't, then either the council comes along and confiscates, or well, not confiscate. They actually chuck away their bedding and their possessions. And if the council aren't taking their stuff away, then other homeless are robbing them. Like John told me that his phone got lost. Now, it's well known to me that mobile phones, when the homeless are sleeping, they will get stolen, either by other homeless, which are then sold, for money for drugs, or swapped for drugs, or by members of the public that are often drunk, that come along, steal their possessions, kick them and punch them a few times. I've seen a girl with a homeless girl with a huge black eye, absolutely so dark. Looked like she'd been punched by a man. Well, she actually told me she was. She told me she was in her tent, and this guy came in and punched her in the face. Whether that was a drug deal, I don't know, but I know that the girl was under the influence pretty much every time I met her. And it's hard to speak like this because it sounds like I'm being derogatory to the homeless, but really it's just being honest. It's just telling you what I know, what the homeless have told me, what I've seen with my own eyes, what I've experienced with the drug dealers walking up and down, laughing at me when I've witnessed to them. I don't look at the homeless through rose-tinted glasses anymore. Yes, I love them. I feel really sorry for them. But the answer is the gospel. It is not about plying them with money, plying them with posh food. The homeless are getting food that the working man or woman wouldn't dream of buying. The average person who are slogging their guts out 9 to 5 and often longer hours than that. They wouldn't dream at the end of the day to go into Costa and get toasted paninis and fancy cakes and a latte with cream, and the abundance of luxury food that the homeless get. They've actually told me that they are sick of sandwiches, and we're talking about Marks and Spencer's sandwiches, because Marks and Spencer's are right next to where I was just talking to John and his dog Caesar, and Costa are right there as well. So this is not me speculating. This is me that I've seen with my own eyes. I've been witnessing and talking to the homeless, and people have come along with £20 notes and handed it to the homeless, and then You could be, a few moments later, someone would come along and say, here you go, love. And it'd be a tray of Costa stuff. I mean, just stuff to die for. And then sandwiches are coming along from Marks and Spencer's, and they'll say, oh, I'm sick of sandwiches. These people are not hungry. These people are not short of money. They've got an abundance of both. What they're starving for is the gospel. And all these churches around doing soup runs, I really wished that they would read their Bibles and realise that the homeless are in desperate need of living water. That's the only thing that's going to change them. Keeping them fed on food that I haven't tasted in years, because, well, I took my daughter yesterday she wanted to go to Costa. It's a rare occasion. We went in there. I said, you can choose some food or you can choose a drink. You're not having both. And she chose a toasted cheese sandwich. It was a few quid. So I wouldn't spoil my own child with what the homeless get. Not once, but many times a day. That they get given so much Costa and M&S food, not just sandwiches from M&S, that I've seen them feed their dogs with it. So don't be fooled. I think don't be fooled is my advice. Give them the gospel, but to keep them well fed and keep them full up with cash, where I've been told by homeless that they can make £200 on a Friday night alone, and then they disappear for a few days because they've got enough alcohol and drugs that they've bought with that 200 quid, and they don't need to be outside the station, for example, for a time. This is what the homeless tell me. It's not something that I think is going on. It's something I've seen. It's something I know. Don't forget, I've talked to these people for years. I've got to know them. I've seen them drop dead over and over again. I've seen them reject the gospel over and over again. Please wake up, churches. You're doing them no favours by coming along with a cup of tea. I've seen you. I've been sitting down with the homeless, and you've thought I was homeless too, and you've said you were from Saint such and such church, and would you like a cup of tea? Here you go. Thank you very much. And you move on. Never once do you mention Jesus. Never once the gospel. Yes, in the Bible it says that if you give a cold cup of water to someone, you won't go unrewarded, something like that. But it says if you give a cold cup of water in Jesus' name. You never mentioned Jesus when you offered me a cup of tea, or gave a cup of tea to the homeless guy that was sitting next to me. The gospel is not telling someone what church you're from. What a wasted opportunity. I don't understand how someone can go through the effort of making huge jugs of hot tea. This is what lovely thing to do, really lovely thing to do, because it can be bitterly cold out, especially in the winter, bitterly cold, and a cup of tea is perfect for a homeless chap sitting on frozen concrete. But you should have given the gospel. I'd be ashamed of myself if I gave a load of clothing donations today and, well, I don't feel smug. It's not my stuff. They're donations that I'm passing on. I don't feel any smugness. I feel sadness that when I give the gospel, they don't embrace it. They don't embrace it. This frustrates me. As God is my witness, what I tell you is the truth and the whole truth. It's not speaking in hyperbole. It's not exaggerated. This is 7 years experience of seeing the homeless, many years on a daily basis, sitting down, taking them to Subway, eating and drinking with them. This is not just a quick visit today like I had with John, which was cut short because of that guy with the, well, coming so close to us that I had to move out the way, and Caesar jumped out the way too. Anyway, let's go home. I've got to go to church now, get ready for church. Always emotional when I come to see the homeless. There's a rat over there, giant rat. It's too far away for me to film it, but a huge rat just came out of the hedge. And we're only a few, I'd say I'm 400 yards maximum from where I was talking to John and Caesar. And it's a stretch of the imagination to think that the rats don't go where the homeless are sleeping 400 yards away, where they've got stashes of very, very nice food, luxury food. Okay, I've seen enough, said enough.